Hello there, everyone. Today is the first day of our weekly Monday Meetup Live, where I'm going to be showing you each Monday around the same time different topics that I'm passionate about and that I've done research or learned. And perhaps I will invite experts and people that know about different subjects to share with you here in our group as well. So tonight, which is the America 8 p.m. Sunday time, and today in Australia, which is 12 p.m. Melbourne, Sydney time, is our first episode. Now, this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how to boost your energy naturally. And there is actually a way to improve your energy through an amazing lifestyle change solution. And I have written some notes here for me to be sharing with you about the 9 tips to actually get more energy, including stress relief and healthy eating. So if you are on this live, I'd love you to be interacting with me by either sending me a message, a comment, or if you're watching the replay, I'd love you to be interacting, asking questions, and sharing what you know about the topic as well. And I'm sure that many of you who are watching live or replay would know quite a fair bit about how to boost your energy naturally too. So let's get started because it's just right on the 12 p.m. points here in Australia, Melbourne time. Okay, so now when you go to a store or supermarket, I'm sure that you always see a multitude of different kinds of foods or vitamins, herbs or supplements that are supposed to boost your energy, right? And some even say that, they can help you to be boosting your energy through drinking some soft drinks and other foods. However, this particular message that I've prepared for you is not only just about vitamin supplements, which personally, I love drinking a type of vitamin that I've been taking for years now with amazing results due to the superior bioavailability, helping me to have more energy. But what I'm focusing on in this particular episode is to share with you about the idea of having something natural, or the things that you can really do to enhance your own natural energy levels. So here are the 9 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you. Number 1 is to control your stress. I know that many of us, being busy entrepreneurs or business owners or people working in the corporate field, being professionals, or even moms or dads looking after your kids, stress is actually a reality of life, right? But stress-induced emotions consume a lot of our energy. And talking with a friend or family or joining a support group can actually diffuse our stress. So when you're feeling stressed, a lot of the times, you bottle up, or that you feel like, oh, you don't know how to deal with it. I would definitely recommend that you talk to a friend. And if you've got an accountability group or support group, hello, Jay, so good to have you here. Like Jay and I are part of an amazing global accountability group where we support each other. So by doing that, if we are facing stress with our business, we can support one another. And the good thing about that is also you can learn about some relaxation techniques like mindfulness practice. In my book, Juggling Health and Wealth, Chapter 5, which is actually one of my favorite chapters, called Mindful Living, I actually share quite a fair bit about the mindful actions and practices that you can use to help you reduce your stress. And the other thing that I personally like to do in terms of reducing stress is to spend time in the natural settings, like go to the park or like different areas where you can see beautiful flowers and trees and stuff like that. And if you're doing, relaxation techniques and tools, that will help you. So that is the first thing that I would suggest as a way for you to be boosting your energy. Okay, so the second thing is to lighten your load. Now, one of the main reasons for many people being tired, exhausted, fatigued, or being stressed is overwork. You know, are you aware that many people from all over the world overwork? They work so much to the point of exhaustion. And I know that for a fact that I've been there, done that. You know, I was burned out for a while and I've experienced that. And hello there, Christine, good to see you. And so overwork can include professional, family, and social obligations as well. And so what I would suggest in order to boost your energy naturally is to streamline your list of must-do activities and set your priorities in terms of the most important tasks. Because if you know what are the most important tasks that you can prioritize, then you do them. And once you're able to finish them, you know, there is a really great book that I read that I would highly recommend, and it's called The One Thing. What is the one thing that you will be doing that will actually help you with many other things? So you don't have to be, you know, overloading yourself. And also consider asking for extra help as well. And Jay said that your stress and your mindset affect your physical being. So true. Because if we are stressed and if our mindset is not at the right place or like our headspace, then our physical being, not only physical being, in fact, is I have always talked about the 5 dimensions of our health. Physical is one part, but also our mental health, our emotional, and our social health with our relationship with others as well. Because if we're not at our best, if we are stressed, then our connection with others will also be affected. Hello, Jimmy. Good to see you. Wonderful. He's a really good friend of mine who is an amazing songwriter and singer. Jimmy, good to have you. So the third thing that I feel is very important in order for us to improve our energy level is to exercise. So how many of you who are watching this live or replay do exercise regularly? If you do, maybe you can type in the comment yes. If you don't, I would highly recommend that you get into the habit of exercising. I know that many of us know that, doing exercise is common sense to help us improve our energy. But seriously, common sense is not always a common practice. Exercise actually guarantees that, we actually sleep more soundly, and it gives us more endorphins that will help us to have more natural energy. And it also gives our cells more energy to burn and circulates oxygen. And exercising causes our body to release the happy hormones that will help us feel energized. Even a brisk walk, is a good start if you don't do strenuous exercise. So something to think about, any movement is better than no movement. So I highly recommend everyone to take time out, at least 3 times a week to do some form of workout. Now, the fourth tip that I'm going to be giving you to boost your energy naturally is to avoid smoking. Smoking threatens your health, and you might not know that smoking actually will take your energy off because it will cause insomnia. There's a lot of research done about that. People that smoke tend to have insomnia more so than those that don't. And the nicotine in tobacco is a stimulant, so it speeds up the heart rate and it raises the blood pressure, and it also stimulates our brain wave. So that's why our brainwave activity associated with wakefulness happens. Hence, we're not able to sleep as well if we smoke. That's why I would recommend that if you are a smoker, perhaps consider quitting it. And once you do fall asleep, the addictive power of smoking can actually kick in and awaken you with cravings as well. And I do have a really good resource through neurolinguistic method to help people quit smoking as well. All right, so the fifth tip of helping you to improve your energy level is to restrict your sleep. Now, this may come as a surprise if you think that you may be sleep deprived. But I've been reading up on sleep because a friend of mine who is a sleep expert has been sharing a lot of her expertise with me, and I've been reading up and doing research. And there is an advice which may sound odd, but determining how much sleep you actually need can reduce the time you spend in bed, but not sleeping, because the process makes it easier to fall asleep and promotes more restful sleep in the long run. So here's how to do it. Number one is to avoid napping during the day. So for those of you who tend to nap, I would recommend that you try not to do that, because it will actually make it difficult for you to go to sleep later. And then, when you go on to the restriction of sleep, the first night, go to bed later than normal. So let's say if you normally go to bed about 11 o'clock, go say about 11:30, and then get just 4 hours to 6 hours sleep instead of the standard 7 to 8 hours sleep. And if you feel that you slept well during those 4 hour to 6 hours sleep period, then every single night you add another half an hour to your optimal number of hours of sleep, hence say about 7.5 to 8 hours sleep. And as long as you are sleeping soundly, then the entire time in bed, then slowly keep adding the sleep on successive nights. So in a nutshell, restrict your sleep first by sleeping only say 6 hours in the beginning, then you add on and until you feel like your optimal sleep is achieved. Okay, so the 6th point of boosting your energy naturally is to eat for energy. Thank you for all your likes and your love hearts. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Christine, Jay, and Jimmy. All right, so how do we eat for energy? Well, it is better to eat small meals and snacks every few hours than 3 meals a day, because as a health and weight loss coach, I've done a lot of reading and research, and in my studies as well, find out that if you only just have 3 big meals, it's not as effective in helping you to achieve your weight and wellness goals as if you were to go through eating small meals and snacks every few hours. Because if you don't eat, if you skip meals, your body is going to be informing you that you're in a hunger mode. And what that means is that hunger mode will cause you to store fat. And so that is not ideal. So basically eating every few hours with smaller snacks and small meals, this approach can reduce your perception of fatigue because your brain needs a steady supply of nutrients. So what I teach as part of my transition lifestyle system, weight management and wellness solution is what we call foods with low glycemic index. And if you want to learn more about that, I have quite a few videos on my YouTube channel, Kitty Chang TLS, that talks about low glycemic impact. Now, how that works is the sugars are absorbed slowly through eating low GI food, and that will help you avoid the lag in energy that typically occurs after eating quickly absorbed sugars or refined starches, because sugars and refined starches are not ideal for you to be having the best type of eating, right? So foods with low GI include things like whole grains, high fiber, vegetables, nuts, and healthy oils such as olive oil. So in general, high carbohydrate foods have highest GI, which is the glycemic impact, and proteins and fats have glycemic impacts that are close to minimal, right? So that's why I would highly recommend that you have protein and fiber and nuts that are low GI. Of course, vegetables are amazing and you can have as much as you like, but also good fats also is something that a lot of people don't think are important, but they are. So having fruits like avocado and also, olive oil in your salad would help you as well. Okay, so tip number 7, and that is use caffeine to your advantage. Now, when we have caffeine, things like coffee and tea, you know, most people think about that as something to help with our alertness, right? So when we have coffee, when we drink tea or green tea, it will help us to be more alert and more alive, so to speak. So having a cup of coffee can actually help sharpen your mind. Although I personally love having the cocktail that I drink every day as the superior supplements called isotonics, but seriously, having a cup of coffee can help sharpen your mind as well. But to get the energizing effects of caffeine, you have to use it carefully, because having too much caffeine is not good for your brain as well. And that's why when we go through the detox 7 days, we don't recommend any caffeine whatsoever. But if you have it sort of, you know, sparingly, say just 1 cup a day, and that's fine. But if you have it too much, then it can cause insomnia, especially when you take it after, you know, say late afternoon or in the evening. So be careful when you drink caffeine, you know, coffee or tea to your advantage, and not too much. Okay, so tip number 8 is to limit alcohol. I mean, if you don't drink alcohol, that's even the best. But if you do drink alcohol, limit it. Okay, so one of the best hedges against the mid-afternoon slump is to avoid drinking alcohol at lunch. The sedative effect of alcohol is especially strong at midday. Similarly, avoid a 5 o'clock cocktail if you want to have energy in the evening. So if you want to have energy in the evening, then best to drink it maybe at the time that is sort of not during midday or 5 o'clock, or perhaps, you know, just after dinner might be the best time to drink a bit. But if you're going to be drinking, then do so in moderation at a time when you don't mind having your energy wind down a little bit to relax yourself. But definitely, if you really do need to have energy, don't drink alcohol, because when you drink alcohol, the sedative effect will then make you feel sort of a bit relaxed, hence you won't have the clarity of mind and energy that you need perhaps to do the things that you need. Okay, so the last tip, but not least, of helping you to improve and increase your energy naturally is to drink water. Now, water is the only nutrient that has been shown to enhance performance for all but the most demanding endurance activities, right? Because, you know, a lot of people don't think that water is that important, but in fact it is, because more than 80% of our body is made of water. And so a lot of people think, oh, if I drink sports drinks, like, you know, or vitamin drinks, or even alcohol, that will help me with enhancing my performance. But really, it is water. Water has been shown to improve our clarity of mind, our performance in exercise, and also even endurance workout, including marathon. So if your body is not having enough fluids, particularly water and filtered water, then one of the first signs is a feeling of fatigue. So next time if you feel tired, ask yourself, have I been drinking enough water? The typical suggestion normally is about, you know, 8 glasses of water or 2 liters. But if you are actually doing more exercise, or if you are actually having more activities, then you probably need more than that. So make sure that you don't dehydrate yourself and drink enough water daily. And speaking of which, I would encourage that you think about all these 9 different tips in order to naturally boost and increase your energy level. So this is the first episode of my weekly Monday Meetup Live through my Juggling Health and Wealth group, and I hope that you can join me in the days to come. And if you've got any more topics that you'd like me to share, please feel free to comment on this Facebook group, because this is actually a mastermind and interactive group. It's not just me talking to you, but interactive so that we can support one another. So thank you everyone for being on this live or watching later. And until next time, take care of yourself and have a good night if you are in the US, and have a good rest of the day if you're in Australia. Bye for now.